Hello everyone, Awakening Animations here and welcome to part 5 of making a plank wall in Blender 2.8. So in the previous part we finished texturing it in Substance Painter, and in this part we're going to apply those textures quickly and then see how we can just duplicate this wall around and create some quick variations for each. Not really quick, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here, since we got the textures going, it would be nice if we could just join these guys together, but if we join them together we're going to have a hard time applying the variations. So let's just hop right to it and apply those textures quickly. So I'm just going to open up the file with the textures inside. Okay, so I've got the texture file open here, and we simply just need to drag and drop these things inside. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the base color and drop this guy in, and we can maybe just make this a bit bigger. Okay, and since they're all sharing the same material, it's just going to apply it to all of them, which is what we were going for. So yeah, this is just the color information. Doesn't look like, no, it is, it's just the color information on there. Okay, so what we need here is our base color, our metallic. So let's plug that in, and with any texture that doesn't represent color, we just put it to non-color here, so it just picks up as black and white. Okay, and here we've got our normal map, and the same thing for the normal map, non-color. And for the normal map we need to bring in a normal map node, connect the color in there and drop it into normal map, and immediately we'll have our normals information. So with that we should see our knots and stuff up there, which is quite cool. Okay, so now we just need our roughness, so we can drop that in. Also change the color space to non-color and drop it into our roughness data. Okay, so that's looking better. And finally we've got our AO, if we want to use that, the ambient occlusion. So in this case it's not gonna make a big difference, it won't do much, but we can anyway just use it. So we'll bring in a mix RGB here. We'll put color one, our base color in the top, and the ambient occlusion in the bottom, and we'll set this to multiply, and we can visualize this. I think we control shift click on it, and this only works if node wrangler is enabled. So just go into preferences, add-ons, and just search node, and here's node wrangler. So this is a nice add-on that's built in to help with working with nodes, and has some shortcuts and extra features and all that stuff. So control shift click on a node and it allows you to view it. So like I said, there's not much AO happening here. Let's put it up on one, and mainly it's picking up here by the bolt. If we take that down, we don't see the AO. Bringing it up, we do. Okay, so that's fine. We'll drop that into our color now, and finally just view the main node here. So this bolt is a bit dark for my liking here, but yeah, if we want to change that, we need to go into Substance Painter, since it's joined with other textures, so we can't just add some filters on top. So that's it for our node, for our setup here, sorry, for the textures. And yeah, so the nice thing about this now is, I know we copied these bolts here using the vertices, instancing it, but in this case we can just copy it manually. So we've got our origin there on the base of the bolt, so possibly with snapping we might have some problems, but let's see what happens. If we just Shift D, bring it down, hold Control to snap. It seems okay, it's not perfect, we need to move it back, maybe rotate it along the X, something like so, and we can always rotate it on the Y to give it some variation as well to the first bolt. So rotate it on the Y maybe a bit more. Oh, that was fine. And we've got some intersecting there since we rotated it, so let's just fix that. Cool. And we'll just keep doing that to each of these guys. Okay, something like that's okay. And let's just duplicate them all across here. So maybe now it was to instance these guys instead of just duplicating them, but that's up to you guys. It's not gonna make a big deal here. So here obviously we've got some different surfaces, so the bolts won't line up the same as on the other side. So we'll just do that manually. Okay. This one seems alright. Once again, rotate them on the Y to get some variations. This one's way off. Okay, so that's not bad. Rotate it as well, a bit on the Y to get some different variation. Rotate it on the X, see what we're getting. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our bolts that we want to use here, and if we look at the rendered view, it should share that same material, which is nice. Okay, so for the next thing, we could create a wall using once again vertices and arraying them the same size as these planks, and then just place these having instances. But once again, with that we're going to have a hard time with adding our variations to it. So I'm going to duplicate this a few times so that we have a bit of a straight wall here, and then I'll add variation to one of them so that we can see how it works. And then yeah, that's basically what we need to do for all of them. We don't need to do it for every single one, but if it's the kind of variation you're looking for, that would be the way to do it. So I'm going to use now the increment snapping here, since we kind of use the grid here, so we should have a decent lineup. Can just move it out a little bit like so. Okay, and we can do it again. And so on and so on, building our wall. So maybe we can get the selection again, duplicate another guy, rotate Z minus 90, rotate Z 90, like so, and we can just line it up maybe like that. Okay, having these posts closing that part off. If you wanted to, we could possibly move it a bit more and have the posts go something like that. So if we look at it from the top view, we can do something like this instead, and then bring it up to there. It's all up to you how you want to lay these out. That looks nice. Let's keep it like that. And yeah, so this is how we'll build our wall. Obviously the textures are the same, which is not always great. So if you wanted to create a few different variations of the textures and apply different textures to some of these guys, that would work as well. So yeah, the reason now we kept the variation section is if we look added, so I'll hide the original quickly and bring them up. I just want to name these planks so that we've got an idea of which plank we're working with. So that's plank 2, and let's just put var there. That's plank 3, and this one should be plank 1. Okay, so now that we know which plank is which, we don't need to see this group anymore, and we can bring our original back. And let's just start with this one. So here we can see that plank 3 of the duplicates is the same of the original. So we can take plank 3 here, and we see that we've got these modifiers. So we don't care about the bevel, and this is the displacement of the bevel, which we could variate as well, why not? So yeah, let's select plank 3 of the duplicate, and then this one here, and say Control C. That's not working, so let's unhide this, select the objects inside, and let's just move it. Yeah, why not move it up? Let's move it up. Okay, so now we select this guy, and then this guy, Control C, selected modifiers, and let's grab everything like that we want. Okay, and now here already we can see that we've got a different variation of this plank compared to that one, which is just what we wanted. And everything, our textures and stuff, work out fine, no problem. So let's do the same here. It's okay, and now we've got a variation of this one too. So these ones are slightly more extreme and still kind of similar. So it's here now where we can come and start to change things. So the bevel should be fine. Displacement Y, so that's going to be in this direction, on the Y axis. So we'll get there. Let's look at the Z for now. So that could be one we want to affect now and change. So we can make this texture its own, so texture 6 now, and we can change a bit the noise size just to have a different variation over here. Okay, and let's do the same here. So there's some problems here, and that's related to overlapping vertices, I believe, or the texture distortion. So let's see if we bring the strength down to -0.1. So it's not changing that much. Okay, so that's where it's coming from. Cool. So our bevel displacement is too strong here since we already have some on it. So let's put it on 0.12. There we go. That fixed the overlapping problem we had there, and we've got a different variant once again here. Maybe something we could change is the taper. So I think it's and yeah, obviously we've got some of the bolts creating issues here, which makes sense because it's being displaced differently. So we can bring this one until it's good and make sure this one isn't out too much, and it's not, so let's just bring it out. We've got the same problem happening here, so GY, and just bring it out, something like that. Okay, so that would be how we're going to create our variations of how the planks are looking The same goes for the posts, so it all depends on when you take this into the game engine, if you want if the posts are going to be seen or not. But in the worst case, you can just change the look of the top of them, and that should be enough to have some variation. So that would be the end of the series. I hope this helps some of you guys and that you create some cool looking game assets and environments. Please leave a like and a subscribe, and if you have any ideas of things you'd like me to make or to add on top of this, feel free to drop a comment and I'll get to that. Thank you. Have a good day.